lovely. Just freaking lovely. Right? Just freaking lovely.
Hello, boys and girls, and welcome back to another episode of Ride with Ted. I am Ted. Thank you for joining me today, and welcome back if you've been here before. And thank you to all of my subscribers. I really appreciate you coming back. As you can tell in this video, once again, I have been having some audio issues. That I have finally figured out what the problem was. And I've since taken care of it. As it turns out, it was the microphone I was using in this helmet that eventually just went bad. Now, I don't know how that happens, but it did. So I have since replaced the microphone, and it appears to be working well. Now, in this video, what I am doing is participating in the Motorcycle Podcasters Challenge. Now, this was an event that started in 2016 by my podcast and a group of other podcasts. It is basically a challenge for riders to go out and collect street names, towns, and city names. It's kind of sort of a scavenger hunt, if you will. Now, over the years, it has grown and morphed just a little bit. Now, I came up with the idea first, and I had mentioned it to a few of the other podcast hosts that maybe we should get some of the motorcycle podcasts together and kind of challenge each other to see who can get the most miles in a week or so. Now, the idea kind of died off, and maybe a year or year and a half, maybe 2 years later, the Loud Pipes podcast folks resurrected the idea in great detail. Now, in the year that the challenge took place, it was the participants were my podcast, the Motorcycle Men podcast, the Throttled Podcast, the Loud Pipes podcast, and a few other podcasts did join, but to my recollection, nobody participated from those podcasts. The Loud Pipes podcast were the hosts and the admins of the event, and eventually they separated the admins from the podcast itself, and it was two separate entities. Anyway, the first year was mostly about gathering, getting the most miles you could during the week. Now, the Loud Pipes people created a trophy that you see here, and the winner's name would get engraved on the side of the trophy like they do for sporting events, and the winner gets to keep the trophy until the next challenge. In the second year of the challenge, the rules changed to getting town names, and mileage played a small part in the scoring. The scoring was based on the board game Scrabble, and there were different bonus points each week as well. Now, each week, 6 letters would be drawn using a ball machine, and riders would have to find town names or street names that started with that letter. Now, needless to say, the rules for the challenge began to grow to avoid some confusion and debate. Town names continued for the second season, and in the third year, it changed to street names, and the rules for the event grew even more because of complications with how street names were scored. So far, the Throttled Podcast won the first year in 2016, Loud Pipes won in 2017, Throttle won it again in 2018, and Loud Pipes took it again in 2019. There was no challenge in 2020 for obvious reasons, but in 2021 it was brought back, and my podcast, the Motorcycle Men podcast, won that year with the help of some really great riders. Now, there wasn't a challenge last year. Now, I know it's a lot of work for the admins, and so the admins decided to take a break from it, so that's why there was no challenge last year. In fact, there wasn't going to be a challenge this year, but some of the other riders decided that we should just do it anyway for fun with relaxed rules and no trophy awards. So here we are doing it, and this is mostly just about doing it for fun, and the rules just didn't apply here. So the way the challenge would work is throughout the course of the challenge, 6 letters are drawn with the ball machine, and the 6 letters, with those letters, you're supposed to go find street names or town names or whatever. When you got letters and pick the town names or the street names of your choice, you'd have to ride to that place, take a photo of you and your bike next to that town sign or street name. Then you would have to post it to the challenge Facebook page, where the admins collect all the data. Now, in the beginning of the challenge, we'd also have to take a picture of our odometer and submit that to the admins separately so they can document the mileage, because there were bonuses for mileage points. Now, this year's a little more relaxed. It was a mixture of everything. We had to do restaurants the first week, and this week it's street names, and then next week we're going to be doing towns. So in this video, you see me riding in the challenge, and I'm out trying to obtain the street names that I've selected. And one of the letters that they selected this year was the letter I. So I got on Google Maps and I'm out looking around everywhere I could for a road that started with the letter I. And in this video right here, I'm looking for Indian River Drive. And I had the hardest time trying to find this road, but eventually I did come across where it was supposed to be. And you'll see right here, there it is right there. That is what it's supposed to be, but it's what they call a paper street. That means it exists on paper for tax maps and exists in public maps, but it's really not a street you can drive on, sort of. And townships do this for whatever reason, or developments do this for a reason. So the road eventually curves around on map and it pops out here. Well, so I can't use that because there was no street sign. So for whatever reason, I had to go that. So off I go looking for my next letter. And now the interesting thing about this challenge is that they would release these 6 letters every Wednesday of the week. And when they would release these letters, you would spend hours on Google Maps looking for towns and street names or whatever that began with the letter that you need. And in many cases, you find yourself traveling to places that you would have never ever gone to or been to before. And that's what the joy of this challenge was all about. It's about getting you out there to ride, to go to places you've never been before. And that's certainly what this challenge has been for me, and definitely for other people throughout the course of the years of the event. And one of the great things that has happened with this Motorcycle Podcasters Challenge annually is that it has grown with the number of people who participated. In the beginning, it was just podcasters that could do the event. Well, it has expanded since then to where anyone could participate in it, and teams began to form. And this was throughout the country as well. There were teams varying from 1 person to 30 people, and it's just amazing to have that many people participating in this challenge, and there was a lot of enthusiasm for it. For me, I was the only one participating in the podcast this year for my podcast. In 2019, it was me and a couple other people when we won. The first year of the challenge for my podcast, we had all 3 of us on the podcast participating, but it was just me, except for a couple of years we won. And here, as you can see right now, I'm stopping to pick up this Nags Head Road because that was the letter N. In the process here, again, I got to stop. I got to take my helmet off. Take my gloves off. The rule was you had to show your face because you don't know. I guess it was like we didn't want people cheating. So I had to take the gloves off. I had to take the glasses off. I had to take the helmet off. I put a hat on to make myself look presentable, and then take the picture. And it was a lot of fun. So yeah, here I'm fighting with the camera and fighting with the hat to get that out of there. Yeah, a lot of fun. Now, over the years, other teams have fared much better than I because they had more people participating. Some people had many people participating for them. It's a lot of fun, and everybody looks forward to doing it each year. What's going to happen next year? We have no idea. I have some ideas that I would like to bring up, and we'll see what happens. My guess is it's going to continue going, and we'll probably include more and more people. So left and right and 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 left and right. Well, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So at this point in the video, the audio for some odd reason decided to come back, and I don't know why. But I was riding and I had to stop. But I fiddled with the camera a little bit, and when I did so, like right here, you can see me messing with the camera, and if for some stupid reason, the audio came back in. I don't know why. But as I said earlier, what I had discovered is that the wire that feeds the microphone apparently had gone bad, being inside my helmet for all this time, exposed to weather or whatever it could have been, any number of reasons that it died. But this microphone that I was using in this helmet, and of course my other helmet is also from an Xbox. Now it's an Xbox microphone, which I purchased off of Amazon, and I got that idea from Jess over at Her Two Wheels channel, and that's what she uses. So when I started to use it, it seems to have been working well up to a certain point. So I have since replaced this microphone in the helmet, and I'm no longer using it. So from this point on, I think I will just let the video audio take over.
They don't like street signs down here. I don't get it. Log landing. That's not what I'm looking for. All right, there was a sign. If I don't see another one, I'll use that one. Nice little place. Move right in. We're going to turn around here. All right, this is a silly process, so you got to watch this. I got to take the helmet off. And I'm back. So that's the process. You know, previous years was because the reason why you wanted to take your helmet off is because they wanted to see your face. They didn't want just a helmeted body just coming there taking a picture without actually knowing who it was. So we continued the trend. Let's go. Always sitting behind somebody. Next stop, I don't know. I'm just following this. The navigation is working wonderfully. Wonderfully. Okay, got my C word. Well, that not no. I got the word that begins with no. Okay, that doesn't even sound right either. Okay, the letter that I had to get was C, and I got it. Okay, so that was dangerous. I could have said it the wrong way, but it's just a word, right? Words don't mean nothing. All right, let's go. On to number 5, I guess. Oh, it wants me to go straight, huh? This is interesting. This is nice in here. All right, let's get this over with.
12 seconds later.
Well, there you have it. That was the end of that. I got my last letter. I still have one letter remaining, the letter I. Where am I going to find an actual road that starts with the letter I? I don't know. I have to hit Google Maps again and look. Well, and go. Well, that's it for now, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little bit all over the place, but it was pretty fun. I thought it was pretty interesting. Got to see some new stuff and got to learn all about the Motorcycle Podcasters Challenge. And maybe next year you could participate as well. Everybody's allowed. All right? As long as you ride a motorcycle. And yes, and that includes spiders and trikes. But no of those three-wheel cars, you know. What do they call those stupid things? None of those. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below and tell your friends so that I can get over 1,000 subscribers. All right? And then I'll get a bell, and then you can click the bell, which is pretty cool, I guess. Should I go this way? Meh. Nah, I'll go straight. But yeah, do that. All right? Tell your friends about us. Me. Ride with Ted. See you in the next video. Until then, kids, you know what you got to do, right? Ride safe. Keep your head on the swivel. Peace out. Rock and roll. Lovely. Just freaking lovely. Right? Just freaking lovely.